The arrival. The world slept under a quiet night sky. The moon shone peacefully above the oceans, and cities glimmered with neon lights. No one knew that this calm would be shattered in moments. At exactly midnight, the stars shifted. Feist, a faint rumble echoed like distant thunder. Then, the darkness of space ripped open. A colossal rift spread across the sky, glowing in shades of green and violet. From it emerged shadows, enormous alien ships, shaped like spears, stretching for miles. Their black metal reflected the moonlight, and their engines roared like thunderclouds. Panic spread as the first ship hovered above New York. Its underside opened like the jaws of a beast, revealing glowing cannons that charged with plasma light. Within seconds, the alien fleet spread across the globe, covering skies over oceans, deserts, and mountains. Humanity had no place to hide. Then, a voice came. Not through radios, not through televisions, but directly inside every mind. A voice that shook the very soul. People of Earth, your time has ended. I am Lord Xylar, Supreme of the Fifth Dominion. Your planet belongs to us. Kneel, or perish. The world froze in terror. Governments scrambled, armies armed their weapons. But deep down, everyone knew that tanks and jets would be nothing against this invincible fleet. Humanity needed something greater, and greater came. From the eastern skies, a burst of golden light pierced the clouds. Flying faster than the sound of thunder came Solarion, the guardian of light. Cloaked in radiant energy, his eyes glowed like twin suns. His very presence ignited hope. Civilians pointed to the skies, cheering his arrival. It's Solarion. He's here. At the same time, in the heart of the Pacific, the oceans began to churn. A storm rose out of nowhere, waves rising like towers. From beneath the raging waters emerged Aquaor, the ruler of the seas. His armor was forged from deep ocean minerals, his trident glowing with blue fire. Schools of whales and sharks swam beside him, as though the ocean itself answered his call. By the tides of the deep, he whispered, no invader shall claim my waters. And then the ground trembled. Somewhere in the Nevada desert, sand exploded upward as a massive figure broke free. Towering over buildings, muscles rippling with unstoppable power, came Titanus, the Earth's juggernaut. His footsteps shook the land, and his voice rumbled like a mountain sliding into the sea. If they want war, Titanus growled, they'll find it in me. For the first time in centuries, Earth's mightiest defenders stood together, not by accident, but by destiny. Each of them had felt the pull, a call deep within their souls. The arrival of the aliens was no coincidence. It was fate, drawing them into battle. Above them, the lead alien warship shifted. Its hull opened, releasing swarms of smaller crafts. Like locusts, they pawed into the skies, darkening the heavens with their numbers. Plasma bolts rained down, setting cities ablaze. Screams filled the air. Solarion reacted first. He shot upward, his body blazing like a comet. With a cry of defiance, he unleashed beams of pure light, slicing through dozens of enemy fighters. Explosions lit the sky like fireworks. Not today, he shouted. On the oceans, Aquaor slammed his trident into the waves. A tsunami rose, smashing into alien landing crafts that tried to reach the shores. Sea serpents and monstrous creatures of the deep, summoned by his command, wrapped around enemy ships and dragged them beneath the waves. The ocean had become a weapon. Titanus charged through the desert as enemy machines landed to crush military bases. He grabbed one of the alien walkers, a machine taller than skyscrapers, and ripped it apart with his bare hands. His roar echoed for miles, shaking even the bravest of soldiers. But then, silence. From the mothership, a single figure descended, taller than any human, cloaked in obsidian armor, his eyes glowing crimson. Lord Xylar himself had arrived. He floated effortlessly above the battlefield, his voice dripping with menace. 3 warriors. This is your defense. Pathetic. With a wave of his hand, a surge of dark energy rippled outward, striking Solarion and hurling him through a skyscraper. Titanus staggered as the ground beneath him split open. Aqueous waves froze in mid-air, crushed under the weight of Xylar's power. Humanity gasped. If these heroes could not stand against him, who could? Solarion rose slowly, his body burning with determination. His voice, though strained, was unyielding. This is our world, Xylar, and we will never kneel. The 3 heroes regrouped, standing shoulder to shoulder. Titanus cracked his knuckles, Aquaor spun his trident, and Solarion's body glowed brighter than ever. The battle for Earth had begun, and this was only the first night of the invasion. The first clash. The silence after Lord Xylar's arrival was short-lived. As his crimson eyes scanned the battlefield, the alien fleet stirred to life. Thousands of fighter craft screamed across the sky, filling the night with trails of green fire. The ground shook as towering war machines descended, each one bristling with alien weaponry, each step crushing streets beneath its weight. Humanity's defenses broke instantly. Jets were swatted from the sky, missiles dissolved mid-air by invisible shields. Soldiers on the ground watched in horror as their weapons became useless toys against this overwhelming storm. Hope seemed to flicker until the heroes charged. Solarion shot upward like a blazing comet, his body radiating beams of golden light. He cut through the first wave of fighters, his hands outstretched, firing lances of energy that shattered hulls and ignited explosions across the night sky. Dozens of alien ships fell in seconds, burning like meteors as they crashed into the city below. Civilians cheered from the rooftops, pointing to the warrior of light who fought for them. But Solarion had no time to savor their hope. A massive alien drone, larger than any jet, unfolded its wings and hurled plasma bolts his way. He twisted through the air, dodging blasts that seared the clouds. Then, with a cry of fury, he unleashed a full beam of radiant energy, piercing the drone's core. It exploded in a sphere of green fire, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. On the ocean's edge, Aquaor made his stand. Alien craft swooped low to land their troops on the shores, but the waters were no safe haven. With a single strike of his glowing trident, he summoned a roaring whirlpool. Waves towered like mountains, dragging dozens of invaders into the abyss. From beneath the sea, creatures never before seen by humankind rose at Aquaor's command. Leviathans with scales of steel, serpents with glowing eyes, and whales that battered alien ships with their colossal tails. The ocean itself became a weapon of war, and every alien that dared touch the waves vanished beneath its fury. Meanwhile, Titanus charged through the desert, facing down alien walkers. One machine towered above him, bristling with cannons that spat molten plasma. Titanus roared and leapt, his fist smashing into its metallic leg with the force of an earthquake. The machine toppled, and Titanus ripped free its glowing core, hurling it like a boulder into another walker. But for every machine he crushed, two more landed. Alien troops swarmed him, firing energy rifles that seared his skin. Titanus staggered but refused to fall. His roar shook the battlefield. If you want this planet, you'll have to bury me with it. The clash raged on, but the tide began to turn. For all their power, the heroes were being pushed back. The aliens were organized, relentless, and endless. Then came the true terror. From the mothership's heart descended a creature unlike any other, the Oblivion Beast. A monstrous titan, twice the size of Titanus, its body pulsed with black energy. Its skin was plated in alien metal, and its chest glowed with a core that absorbed light. Solarion struck first, unleashing a blinding beam of radiant energy. For a moment, the battlefield shone like daylight, but when the light faded, the beast still stood. Twice, it roared, and Solarion felt his strength drain. His golden glow flickered. The creature had absorbed his power. Titanus lunged at it with brute force, his fists hammering into its armored hide. The ground cracked beneath the impact. Mountains trembled from the blows. But the beast barely flinched. With a single swing of its colossal arm, it sent Titanus flying across the battlefield, crashing into a canyon with an earth-shattering roar. Aquaor attacked next, summoning a vortex of water that spun like a hurricane. Lightning crackled through the storm as his trident unleashed its fury. But the beast's core pulsed, and the storm collapsed into itself. The water fell uselessly around them, leaving Aquaor kneeling in exhaustion. The heroes regrouped, battered and bleeding. For the first time, doubt filled their eyes. Solarion's voice cracked with despair. Its power, it grows with ours. The more we fight, the stronger it becomes. Lord Xylar descended slowly, watching with amusement. His voice dripped with venom. You see now, your guardians are nothing. This creature is the weapon that will end your species. Your champions cannot win. They only feed its strength. The civilians watching from afar felt their hope crumble. If the heroes failed, humanity would be nothing more than ash. But then, in the darkest moment, Titanus pulled himself from the rubble. Blooded, bruised, and barely standing, he roared with defiance. "We don't fight because we're stronger than you. We fight because we have no choice." His cry reignited the will of his allies. Aquaor rose, gripping his trident tighter, his eyes burning with determination. Solarion steadied himself, his glow faint but alive. Together, they stood once more. The first clash with the aliens had begun as a battle for survival. Now, it became something greater, a promise to humanity that they would not surrender, no matter the cost. As the chapter closed, the Oblivion Beast's roar echoed across the earth, drowning out all sound. The war for humanity's survival had truly begun, and the heroes were far from ready. Unity of power. The battlefield lay in ruin. Cities burned. Oceans boiled. The sky itself seemed to cry as alien ships swarmed in endless waves. The heroes stood blooded and exhausted, each one staggering beneath the weight of despair. The Oblivion Beast towered above them, its monstrous form glowing with a pulsing core that fed on their power. Every strike they had unleashed only made it stronger. Solarion's light became its fuel. Aquaor's waves became its nourishment. Titanus' strength became its armor. Lord Xylar's laughter echoed like thunder across the ruined landscape. "Your defenders are weak," he mocked. "Every breath they take brings you closer to extinction." The civilians who had once cheered now cowered in silence, hope crumbling like dust. But within the eyes of the heroes, a new fire began to burn, not one of power, but of resolve. Solarion staggered forward, his golden glow dimmed but not extinguished. "We've been fighting as three, but we are stronger as one," he whispered. Titanus spat blood into the date and smiked through the pain. "About time you said it. I was getting tired of doing this alone." Aquaor raised his trident, his voice steady like the tide. "Land, sea, and sky, we were never meant to fight separately. Together, we are Earth." The three locked eyes, and in that silent moment, something deeper connected them. Not just power, but purpose. They weren't simply warriors, they were guardians, bound by a duty greater than themselves. The Oblivion Beast roared and charged, the ground splitting beneath its steps. But this time, the heroes moved as one. Solarion shot skyward, drawing the beast's gaze. His body ignited in a blinding flare, brighter than the sun. The alien creature absorbed the light greedily, its core glowing hotter, hungrier. But this was the plan. Take it all. Solarion growled, pouring every ounce of his energy into a focused beam. The beast trembled, drunk on stolen light, its form destabilizing under the overload. At that moment, Aquaor raised his trident high, summoning the oceans themselves. Tidal waves surged from every direction, spiraling upward in a vortex. Lightning cracked across the storm, charging the waters with deadly energy. He directed the maelstrom around the beast, locking it within a prison of water and thunder. "By the seas that birthed this world, you will drown in them." Aquaor roared. The monster thrashed, its armored hide cracking under the pressure. But it was Titanus who delivered the final blow. He stumped the ground, drawing strength from the very bones of the earth. Stone and magma rose at his call, wrapping around his colossal fists. With a roar that shook the heavens, Titanus leapt into the air, his entire body glowing with molten fury. "This is for every life you tried to take." He slammed both fists into the beast's chest. The ground erupted in fire as the impact shook the battlefield. The monster's core cracked, spilling unstable energy into the air. For a moment, the night turned into day as light consumed everything. The Oblivion Beast screamed, its form unraveling into shards of dark energy before finally exploding in a blast so powerful it rattled the stars themselves. The shockwave sent the alien fleet tumbling. Dozens of ships spiraled out of control, crashing into one another. For the first time, Lord Xylar's smile faded. He clenched his fists, his crimson eyes narrowing in rage. On the ground, the heroes stood together, scorched and trembling but unbroken. Civilians, who had hidden in fear, emerged from the rubble, staring in awe. Cheers erupted. Hope returned. Solarion, his light flickering faintly, turned to his brothers in arms. "We can't stop now. That was just their beast. The fleet still hangs above us." Aquaor gazed at the horizon, waves still churning. "Then let them come. The oceans are endless, and so is my resolve." Titanus cracked his knuckles, a grin breaking through his blooded face. "I'm just getting warmed up." The three raised their eyes to the heavens where the mothership loomed. The war was far from over, but for the first time since the invasion began, humanity saw more than survival. They saw victory. High above, Lord Xylar snarled. His voice thundered across the skies once more. "Impressive, but futile. You may have slain my beast, but I command an empire. You have delayed the inevitable, nothing more." Solarion answered, his voice unshaken. "No, Xylar. You've awakened something greater than your empire could ever destroy. You've awakened unity." The three heroes stood tall, side by side, glowing with renewed strength. Their power was no longer divided. It was fused, forged into something unstoppable. And the alien invaders, for the first time, hesitated. The first clash had nearly broken them. But together, united, Earth's champions were ready to fight not just for survival, but for triumph. The war would rage on. The skies would burn. The oceans would rise. The Earth itself would tremble. But now, for the first time, the heroes had a chance to win. The war isn't over. The battlefield lay in eerie silence. Smoke curled upward from the ruins of alien war machines. The ocean retreated, carrying with it the wreckage of shattered ships. The ground was cracked, scorched, and trembling still from Titanus' final strike. The Oblivion Beast, the unstoppable juggernaut meant to crush Earth, was gone. Only shards of dark energy flickered where it had fallen, fading like dying embers in the wind. For a moment, there was peace. Civilians emerged from rubble, their eyes wide with awe. Cheers erupted across the ruined city. From New York to Tokyo, from deserts to frozen tundras, humanity watched through trembling screens as their champions stood tall, united. Solarion, battered but unbroken, hovered above the ground, his golden light faint yet steady. Aquaor leaned on his trident, waves still swirling around him like loyal sentinels. Titanus cracked his knuckles, breathing heavily but grinning through the blood. "We did it," whispered a young child watching from a shelter, his eyes filled with hope. "They saved us." But above the cheers, above the fragile hope, there was movement. The alien fleet had not fled. Instead, it reorganized. Lord Xylar floated at the heart of the mothership, his crimson eyes burning brighter than ever. His laughter rolled like thunder across the skies. "Fools," he hissed. "You think the fall of one beast means victory? That was but a single weapon in my arsenal. My empire spans galaxies. What you destroyed was nothing more than a test." The skies shifted as new portals ripped open. Dozens more motherships appeared in orbit, blotting out the stars. Their silhouettes stretched across the heavens, a reminder of the endless army waiting beyond. The cheers of humanity died in an instant. Fear returned. The victory felt hollow. Titanus slammed his fist into the ground, splitting the earth beneath him. "Let them come," he growled. "I'll crush them all." Solarion shook his head. His light flickered weakly, his body trembling. "Not yet. We pushed ourselves to the edge just to defeat one beast. If we fight like this again, we'll burn out before the true war even begins." Aquaor's eyes hardened as he gazed at the endless sky of invaders. His right. This was only the opening battle. The storm has only begun. Lord Xylar spread his arms wide, his voice thundering inside every human mind. "Kneel now, and your species may yet serve. Resist, and you will be erased from existence. Your so-called guardians cannot save you forever." The world trembled at his words. Leaders faltered. Soldiers despaired. But then Solarion raised his voice, steady and unyielding. "No, Xylar, we will not kneel. You came here expecting conquest, but what you've awakened is unity. Not just in us, but in all of humanity. Every life you threaten, every city you bang, only strengthens our resolve." His glow brightened, faint but rising, like dawn after the longest night. Titanus stepped forward, his massive frame casting a shadow over the rubble. "You've got armies. Fine, but you'll never match the heart of a world that refuses to bow." Aquaor lifted his trident high, lightning dancing along its edges. "Earth is not yours to take, and if this is only the beginning, then so is our fight." The three stood together once more, not just as heroes but as symbols, living proof that humanity was not helpless. Around the globe, civilians raised their fists. Soldiers, inspired, steadied their weapons. Leaders who had faltered found courage again. Humanity would not surrender. The alien fleet shifted, preparing for its next strike. But something in their formation hesitated. For the first time, the invaders faced not a divided planet, but a united one, led by 3 warriors who had already defied impossible odds. Lord Xylar's smile faltered. His crimson gaze locked on the trio below. For the first time, he spoke without arrogance, only rage. Then your world will burn slowly, piece by piece. And when it falls, you will watch from the ashes. The motherships began to descend. Solarion, Aquaor, and Titanus looked at one another. Their bodies were exhausted, their strength nearly spent, but their resolve was unbreakable. Solarion whispered, "This isn't the end. It's the beginning." Titanus grinned. "Round 2, then." Aquaor nodded, lightning sparking across his trident. Round 2. The skies thundered, the oceans rose, the earth itself rumbled. Humanity stood behind its champions. The war wasn't over. It had only just begun.